It's Sunday, by the way, Sunday afternoon now, almost 1. I started a minute or two early. We're going to go up here on my desktop. And you know what? I'm going to read something that I actually read it in an interpretation of the Tao Te Ching, but it is from St. John of the Cross, who was decidedly not a Taoist. However, Taoism, of course, natural expression of life, so anyone can tap into the Tao. And St. John of the Cross was certainly attuned to his inner self. So let's see. Wolf is here. Wolf says, I made it. Says, hi, is Yogi? Wolf, how are you? Laradox is here. Laradox, how are you? How are you feeling? I know you weren't feeling well the other day. Laradox says, sorry, hasn't been in the stream lately. That's okay. People come, people go. Wolf says, yeah, Wolf sums it up. Says, not a problem. There's so many chats on at the same time. You can't get them all. Certainly so. And I don't expect people to, make a big effort to get here because, guys, I'm live. I do a live stream 3 times a day. And I don't want to cut in anyone else's time. So, hey, if you can stop by and say hi, it's appreciated. If you're too busy, that's fine. I'll be here next time. Barb says, blessings to each of you. May Creator bless each of you and protect you during your day. Thank you for that. Beautiful prayer. Man, I love getting those prayers beginning of a live stream. It sets the tone, for what we hope to accomplish. Wolf says, well, I gained almost 10 subs yesterday and didn't even ask for them. Just went to a chat watching a guy magnet fishing. Well, I have not heard of magnet fishing, and the moderator shared my link. Of course, I subbed a few in this chat as well. That's how to do it. Optimob is here. Timo, how are you? Timo says, congratulations. Hey, did you guys get a chance to hang out with Timo and Sabine and Bax this morning? Optimob says, congratulations that your channel is getting bigger. Barb says, congrats, my husband. No, actually, Wolf, it's going to be sooner because now you got momentum. Wolf says, still a long way from 500, but more than halfway. Maybe another 5 years we'll hit 500. I think it's going to happen pretty soon. Wolf says, I will not be joining you at 4:30 a.m. ever. Yeah, probably a safe bet, huh? However, through the magic of the internet, my 4:30, my 5 a.m. is available all the time. Our friend Sabine was here this morning, which is very nice. So I did my very first voiceover today on a YouTube short because I was very much taken with Medic. Medic is here. I don't mean to say I was very much taken with Medic, although, hey, who wouldn't be? Medic says, hey, Earthlings and mere mortals. What I meant to say, I was very much taken by a passage that I read from St. John of the Cross. And then later this morning, I had a rabbit look at me. And I thought, you know what? It's a sign. I actually read it in a book on the Tao Te Ching. Let me go ahead and read it real quick, if you guys don't mind. This is from St. John of the Cross, who, by the way, in my opinion, is one of the most mystical of the mystical saints. I was sad one day and went for a walk. I sat in a field. A rabbit noticed my condition and came near. It often doesn't take more than that to help at times, to just be close to creatures who are so full of knowing, so full of love, that they don't chat. They just gaze with a marvelous understanding. Man, how beautiful is that? That's what I love about doing nature shorts. That's the feeling that's invoked, when it's done in the best way. When you watch a UK Medic nature short, that's what it invokes, that peacefulness, that the rabbit actually looks in and knows, that the otter looks in and knows, that the bird looks in and knows, that the fox looks in and knows. And what it knows is who we are in our deepest, deepest essence, in the deepest essence of ourselves. Let's see. Barb says, hi, Medic, my spiritual brother. Let's see. Wolf says, Medic, we're all immortal, at least in spirit. I agree with that. Medic says, if a rabbit looks at you, it's a sign that you have to hop off and jump to it. Or maybe it's visualizing a giant carrot. Maybe it's visualizing a giant walking, talking carrot. Medic says, it's only my spirit that exists, Wolf. My body gave up years ago. Well, you know what? Let's hope your body makes a comeback. Catches up with the spirit. Yeah, so St. John was always one of my favorites. I think many of us have experienced, or we probably will experience, the dark night of the soul. It's often written about as a one period that we go through, and we come through the other side, and we come through light, a lightness of being. I'm not so sure. I think we have many, many dark nights of the soul. And I think each time that we emerge more fully ourselves. And I think that's what the rabbit sees. That's what the rabbit knows. Let's see. Barb says, I agree with you, Medic. I've been there too, guys. I'm doing pretty well. But I've had a few moments in the past couple years. So yeah, before I went to bed, I spent some time over at UK Medics. I watched his the new shorts that he put out. Absolutely beautiful sounds, beautiful sights. And then this morning, I got to spend time on Optimob. Which is always nice. Let's see. Wolf says my body is still going, but it does show signs of a revolution more and more. I think for me, every once in a while, it's more of a civil war. Part of me is feeling good, the other part is aching. I fix an issue with my knee and my back gives out. I fix my issue with my back and my shoulder gives out. Wolf says, Optimob says, hi everyone. Wolf says, welcome back. Doing a little walks with Bax. Awesome. Tell Bax I said hi. Our friend Brian Lane is here. Brian says, hey, Eric and chat. Hope everyone has a great day. Thank you, Brian. I hope you're having a good day, too. What's new in St. Louis? I'm going to start off dropping Brian's link. Let's see. Destiny's here. Destiny, my friend, how are you? You've been missed. Although I understand your reason for being away, my friend. My prayers have been with you. My love has been with you. My thoughts have been with you. Let's see. Destiny says, hello and happy Sunday, Eric McCarty. How are you? I'm doing good. I was mentioning I did my very first voiceover on my YouTube short. Don't know how I sounded, because you know what? After I put it out there, I have a hard time listening to myself. Um, I gotta trust that maybe I was loud enough, which isn't often the case. My entire life I've been told to speak up. Our friend Squirrel Sniper is here, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. Thank you, Squirrel Sniper. How are you, my friend? Medic says you have to keep an eye on Timo. He will march in, throw a towel on your pool lounger, and steal your toast. That does seem a little shifty, and you wouldn't expect it from Timo, because he's such a likable guy. But those are the ones you got to watch. Destiny says hello to Barb. Barb says hi to Destiny and Squirrel Sniper. Optimob says I gave Bax a hug from you. Awesome. Appreciate that. Optimob says yes, Round. That's possible. Brian says thanks, Eric. Hi, and hugs to you too, Barb. Let's see. Destiny says, thanks, Eric, and appreciate your prayers and condolences. You're welcome, my friend. Brian says, you always sound professional, Eric. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate hearing that. As I mentioned, it's a poem from St. John of the Cross, who for me has always been the most mystical of all the Christian mystics, as well as the most poetic. Just absolutely beautiful, as well as St. Teresa, who was a compatriot. Some say they were more than compatriots. It doesn't matter to me, one way or the other. The words are absolutely beautiful, especially the end when he mentions, well, that's the last couple lines. To just be close to creatures who are so full of knowing, so full of love, that they don't chat. They just gaze with a marvelous understanding. Maybe I would do a live stream like that. I'm not going to chat. I'm just going to gaze. I'm just going to gaze into the camera. This Buddha gave a sermon holding a flower in his hand. Never said a single word. Just held a flower in his hand. No one understood. One person. One person got the message through silence and accepted the flower. The Buddha smiled, and the person became enlightened. Sometimes a moment in silence is worth 1,000 sermons. Destiny says hello, and happy Sunday, Brian. Brian says, I wish I could talk as clear as you, Eric. But you know what, Brian? You have a powerful message, and you get it across beautifully. Very much so. You know why? Because it's the sincerity that you have. That's what counts. You're authentic and you're sincere. If you tried to sound anything otherwise, I think you would lose the beauty and power of your message. The fact that you are Brian Lane and you've walked through the fire and you came out not just better, you came out exposed. You came out exposed as pure love, pure spirit, and you are offering people a helping hand. It doesn't get more beautiful than that, Brian. I mentioned before, very first time I came across your channel, and I knew this is a guy I have to support because that powerful message. Not to get biblical, but to get biblical. As soon as you say not to get, and then you say but, you know what's going to happen. Remember that when Moses was on the mount and he was told by God that he was going to deliver a message, Moses was not a very very good speaker, stumbled over words. And he said to the burning bush, don't ask me. Ask someone, ask Aaron, ask someone who can actually speak. And God said, no, it's your message. I'm giving it to you. No one's been through what you've been through, Brian, the way that you've been through it. Many people are going through their own battles with addictions, but no one's been through it like you. And people who are going through their own, they get that feeling that they're all alone. And your message says otherwise. Your message says, nope, you're not all alone. I've been there and I'm there with you now. Let's see. Wolf says, I did my exercises today, carried a 4/5 gallon cans of gasoline about 30 feet at a time. You know what? That's actually a really good form of exercise. Farmer's walk. Very good for the core, good for the shoulders, good for the grip, good for the legs. When I had my own training business, people would pay me money to have them do that. Destiny says, hello to Squirrel Sniper. Destiny says, hello to UK Medic. Brian says, thanks, Eric. You're welcome, Brian. Our friend Mir is here. Says, hi, Sir Yogi and all friends. Man, Mir really put in a ton of work. Him and Jacob, a ton of work for our friends. They got Eric Lapointe to 1K, Mr. 1K himself. We'll see if he shows up today. Brian says, thanks, Eric. I think I mentioned that. Squirrel Sniper says, Bolshevism committed the greatest human slaughter of all times. The fact that most of the world is ignorant and uncaring about this enormous crime is proof that the media owned by the perpetrators. You know, I've been given a lot of that. Some of what you're saying, a lot of thought. Not quite the way you're wording it there. What I'm just thinking is, man, things haven't gotten better. Wars have just gotten more sophisticated. Criminals have gotten more clever. People still bicker among themselves about politics and all kinds of stuff. And it's so stark right now, the choices that we have. But at any moment, we can choose peace instead of what we have. What we're trying to do is we're trying to change behavior. You can't change behavior. You got to change the thought. Change the thought system first. Rewire the thought system to a loving thought system, a peaceful thought system. It's possible. That's the whole method of yoga. That's the whole message of Buddhism. It's the whole message of A Course in Miracles. Taoism as well. But it needs to be taught, and it needs to be taught at a young age. Not that old people can't embrace it too. I'm living proof of that. Let's see. Medic says hi to Brian. Destiny says hello to Ahmed, Mir Ahmed. Brian says, do I ever sound nervous? Maybe sometimes, Brian, but that's okay. Again, that's part of the sincerity. That's part of just being who you are at all times. When you're nervous, be nervous. When you stumble over a word, stumble over a word. I'm always stumbling over words. I don't care. Because it happens. I see we got a, Mir says, hey, great flowers. It's nice having our friend Destiny in the chat. Brian says, I saw it, Eric on Louis earlier. Yeah, I was over there for a while too. I was in and out, catching the songs. You know what? I think, sorry, I got to say hi to my cat. I think that was a genius idea on Burpee Reaper's part. And I think it's going to be huge. No one else is doing something like that. It's fun. It's inspiring. He gets the work done. It's also motivating. Destiny says, and this is why I miss Destiny. When we take our eyes off of seeing others' beauties and turn it inward within ourselves, we will begin seeing our own beauty and greatness. Absolutely. Um, Destiny, I think the last conversation we had, we talked about the shadow. And people always think the shadow as projecting our darkness out into the world, which is true. But at the same time, we cast our shadow, we project our own beauty and our own greatness upon others because we can't accept it, which is why we worship movie stars and singers, performers, athletes, um, because we don't see our own beauty. And that's a really valuable thing for Destiny to point out. Optimob says, now I am home. Hope you had a good walk, my friend. Mir says, he's good. To UK Medic, thanks for asking. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well, my friend. Have you guys seen the new videos put out by our friend Mir? Hey guys, feel free if you want. I'm not a great link dropper because I'm on my desktop, so it doesn't always open to people who aren't on a desktop. But man, if you got something new out and you want to share it, feel free. Or if you just want to drop your link, feel free. I mentioned before, Optimob had a beautiful live stream this morning. Detsy says, Brian, you do not sound nervous in a bad way. Exactly. It's very sincere. Optimob said, his medic had told Sabine what he said about a towel and a toast. Mir is asking how Destiny is. Squirrel Sniper says, greetings to Mir. Destiny says she's doing great. Awesome. And is asking how Mir is. See, Medic says, if you want to hear something that is a guide for life, listen to the words of this song. Is it, let's see.
Ladies.
I have it up. I don't want to listen to it in case it's copyrighted. But as soon as we're done, I'm going to check it out. I like the title. Everyone's free to wear sunscreen. Let's see. Brian says, before I wanted to say have a blessed day, and don't forget to hit like, before I go, wanted to say have a blessed day, and don't forget to hit the like. Thank you for that, Brian. Have a blessed day as well, my friend. We got a short from Optimob. Beautiful. As I mentioned yesterday, lots of times, the people who so much attention to detail, Optimob and UK Medic, you can tell they really love every aspect of what they're doing. Burpee Reaper is in the house. Fresh off of his reps, fresh off of his songs. He started out with a song for me. Hey, Optimob, thank you for dropping that link. Guys, I hope you check it out. Beautiful. Wolf says, blessings to Brian. Scroll Sniper says, Umbra. The Umbra is the innermost and darkest part of the shadow, where the light source is completely blocked by the oculing body. Interesting. Sniper, as always, you drop the most interesting facts. Reaper says, good morning, YouTube family. You had a great session, Reaper. Let's see. Destiny says, it's good being here, and I'm glad to hear your messages today. You in the chat. Just wanted to see you, Eric, and check in on you. I have to go. Much love to you and the chat. Thank you, Destiny. Appreciate you being here, and much, much love to you. Eric Lapointe, Mr. 1K. Mr. 1K is in the house. Some of you might ask, hey, how did Eric Lapointe get the nickname Mr. 1K? He got that nickname by being Eric Lapointe and putting in the work and getting 1K subscribers. That's how you do it. Let's see. Hello, Flowers here. Flower says, hi, Eric. How are you? Flower, when did you sneak in? Did I miss you? Have you always been here? I apologize if I missed you, my friend. Reaper says, have a great day, Sister Destiny. If you guys would kindly refer to Eric Lapointe as Mr. 1K. All due respect, all proper respects. Reaper says, Yogi and a salute. Go diggity. That song changed hip-hop for me. I was never a fan, and I'll tell you why I was never a fan, because I didn't listen to it. And then I heard that song, and I said, whoa, wait a minute. This song's a game changer. Score Sniper says, Eric Lapointe, the Burpee Reaper. The Rep Slayer. Medic was lurking in Reapers earlier when he was at 85. Hey, Medic, next week on Show Tune Sunday, you should ask the Burpee Reaper to do the song that you dropped, and he'll do some reps to it. Destiny says hello to Burpee Reaper. Enjoy your day, and I will see you later. Optimob says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. So I'm going to skip through some of our highs. Hey, our friend, let's see. I think I almost got it right last time. As Utosh, I think, is back. Appreciate you being back, my friend. I appreciate you putting up with me mispronouncing your name, and yet you came back anyway the next day. Thank you. One of the great things about Flower saying hi to everyone is if I miss someone, I notice it as she says hi, and I get to backtrack and correct myself. So thank you for that, Flower. Leo says, what's up, guy? What a Sunday morning this was. Reaper is out, put in the crazy work. I saw. You guys were awesome. Eric Point says he'll be right back. UK Medic's going to be right back. And I am all caught up in the chat. I didn't even fall that far behind. For you right there, guys. I just want to put this out there again. This is the latest from our friend Mir. His latest video. Reaper says, Leo, you did amazing, brother. Great work. Hey, did we have, there he is. Noble Scrolling Traveler. Says hello. Noble, how are you, my friend? You hit the 3K mark. If not, I predicted you're going to hit it tomorrow. I gave you some watch hours this morning. I had you up on your last live stream. How you talk that long wearing a mask amazed me. Our friend Sabine is here. Sabine, how are you? Flowers says, Noble, hello, drunk dad. Ex-drunk dad. Well, Ahmed says, first of all, Flowers is now up to 100. Flower says, great live with ink today. I don't know what that means, Flower. Our friend Nightwatcher was on my 5 a.m. live stream. There's Flower. I wanted to check that out. Flower has 66 subscribers. Sabine says that she is great. Awesome. Happy to hear that. Optimob says, I watched this one. Great. It was great. And Wolf drops a link for Flowers. Thank you for that, Wolf. Let's see. Flower says, I saw a Therian on live with someone, and I looked at the profile and saw Noble and was surprised as heck. Let's see. Noble says, how long does it take to get looked at? They're usually about 5 days behind. So if you're close to it, that means you're probably already there. I suspect if you're close to it, you're gonna hear about it tomorrow. Wolf drops a link for Sabine. Thank you for that. Flower says, thank you so much to Wolf. We get some fire emoji from Squirrel Sniper for Noble. And we get the link drop for Noble. Noble puts in some epic live stream sessions. Again, it was about a 2-hour live stream, and he wore a mask just about the entire time. I think the entire time. Let's see. One thing I wanted to check was our friend, the Burpee Reaper. It's still growing. 845. 845 well-deserved subscribers. Sabine says, thank you, Moonwolf. Poor Man Jim says, howdy, Yogi. Poor man, how are you? How's the training? Laura says, hi to Poor Man. Noah says, I bought someone on my live stream that thinks they are part fox. I won a unicorn mask for fun. It was a pretty awesome. Live stream, Noble. Sabine says, no, did I understand right? He had a mask on. Yep, you can go watch it. Check out Noble. And check on his latest live stream. They both had masks on. Wolf says, hi, it's Poor Man. And Poor Man says, howdy to everyone. Thanks for dropping Optimob's link, Wolf. Awesome. Optimob says, was it a white animal mask? It was that. It was a unicorn. Hey, Noble, if you want to drop the link for that live stream, everyone can check it out. You guys can give Noble some watch hours too. He was fast approaching 3,000 and on his way to 4,000. Poor man says, took a recovery day yesterday, worked on mowers, probably do Wolf's Lawn Card here shortly. Awesome. Man, you picked a tough one. Flower says, yeah, yups. They're called Aetherian, and they identify as an animal, Noble. Squirrel Sniper says, Noble, it's when they you have to get the litter tray out and put it in the corner that they get worrying. Only if it's your house. Optimob says he remembers. It was a co-stream. Yeah, it was a co-stream. Speen says, okay, now it did click. Thank you, Flower. Awesome. I'd love to see Flower share some of her theory and stuff. Only when she's ready, though. Only when she feels that the time is right. Let's see if I can find that live stream. Sorry, guys. There we go. I believe that's it. Optimob says, in less than 90 minutes, in our next Sunday premiere with a special video. Awesome. Thank you for dropping that link. I'm looking forward to that. Look forward to all of your stuff. From the casual live stream to the premieres. All of it is just quality stuff. Our friend Jacob is here. Jacob says, greetings and blessings to you all. Hit the like button for our great friend, Mr. Yogi. Happy Sunday, brother. Thank you, Jacob. Happy Sunday to you. Flower says, I won't be filming myself that much until I'm a bit older. Very wise. Squirrel says, the person I've run on doesn't identify as an animal. They believe in their past life that they were a fox. Nice. Let's see. Wolf says, I'm trying to drop everyone's link. If Yogi doesn't mind, don't mind at all, my friend, and doesn't want to mob the chat. No, actually, I really appreciate it, and I think everyone will appreciate that opportunity. So if there's someone that you see here and you're not subscribed and you want to make that connection, just scroll up, look under what Wolf dropped. Great opportunity. Sometimes I often claim that I'm not a connecting channel the way that some of the great channels, Mayhem Miracles, James Kite. But one thing I need to keep in mind, it's already a connecting channel. Anything you put out there is just a continuous connection with each other. So, hey, if it can serve in a way that helps anyone, awesome. Flower says, yeah, theory and therapy differ for everyone. Some believe that they had a past life, and some don't. It's different for everyone, as it should be. If you're going to be free to express yourself, then it shouldn't be in any set way. You know what I mean? They shouldn't make a doctrine out of it. Everyone has to believe this. Once it's organized, man, we mess everything up. Look with what we did with religion. Our friend Runner Boy is here. Runner Boy, how are you? Runner Boy is another who, was it just last week? Hit 1K. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. And we got the link drop for Jacob. Awesome, Wolf. Thank you. Jacob puts in the work for everyone. Hey, Runner Boy, you should do a live stream of the bonfire on the 12th. Flower says, "Say, Runner Boy, long time no see." Jacob says, "Thank you, Brother Wolf." Barb is offering blessings to Runner Boy, Jacob, and Sabine. And we got a hi, Miss Barb from Flower. Let's see. Wolf says, "I'm surprised the number of people that I not subbed as I click the link, but I am correcting that." Yeah, that's sometimes people slide through the cracks. We think we're connected because we see them all the time, and we're connected here on the live stream. We have great conversations, but then we forget to hit that subscribe button. That's why it's so awesome to drop the links. It's why it's so awesome to have people like Jacob and you, Wolf, helping each other out. Hey, Wolf, don't forget to drop your own link. Don't forget to drop Barb's link. Flower says, "How are you, Miss Barb?" We got Runner Boy's link dropped. Barb says, "Sorry, Flower, I missed you." She's trying to finish a diamond art. Nice. Optimob says, "Don't forget the premiere." Definitely, guys. Check out the premiere. Get your popcorn ready. Get there early. Get a good seat. Be ready for a good time. Let's see. Runner Boy was doing a run. Hence the name Runner Boy, by the way. But it did go as far as I decided to end it by running up a steep 200-meter hill. Nice. How's the chest infection? And Wolf drops the link for Barb. Thank you, Wolf. As is Sabine. Thank you, Sabine. Give me 1 second, guys. So as I mentioned, I did my very first voiceover on a YouTube short because of a synchronistic event of something that I read. I actually read it in a book on the Tao Te Ching, an interpretation of the Tao, and it was St. John of the Cross, and it's been sticking with me all through the morning. And then I saw a rabbit, and that's where the connection is, because the name of the poem from St. John of the Cross is "A Rabbit Noticed Me," and it was just a beautiful. Anytime you make eye contact with any kind of animal, is a magical event, and I love rabbits. And making eye contact with rabbit, and that verse came back to me, so I decided to do a voiceover. Burner Boy says, "Yeah, it all seems gone now." Barb says, "Thank you to Sabine." It was not as hard as I thought. I have a little bit of a fear of technology. that it's just a little bit above my pay grade. But what I found is if you hit enough buttons, something's going to work. And if you're unafraid to make mistakes, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what you can do? Evan says, have you ever been really mad before? I have been really mad before. Lots of times. And I still get mad. I don't get really mad anymore. Well, maybe I do. The thing is that I don't stay mad. It passes. In Buddhism, they call it our clear sky nature. The sky never holds a grudge. When it's time to storm, when rain clouds enter the sky, when you hear thunder, when there's lightning, all that occurs within the sky. But when it's over, it's over. The sky doesn't hold a grudge. The sky doesn't say, well, now I will ever hold a grudge against that storm. Every time I get another storm, I'm going to remember that one particular storm. There's no triggers in the sky. Things come, things go. When you're angry, be angry. And what you find is when you allow yourself to be angry, there's a spaciousness present so that you don't act out destructively with it. Now there's the experience of anger instead of you being consumed by anger. When you're consumed with anger, you're going to lash out. You're going to do something that you regret. When you're just angry, it goes away. It passes. And then you're fine. And Eric LaPointe, Mr. 1K, is back in the house. Hope you're having a good day, Eric. Sabine says, I was a bit distracted. Sorry, I just subbed to Running Boy. Awesome. That's a great question, Evan. I appreciate you asking that. Squirrel Sniper says, tonight's read, History of the Antiquity. The German scholar documents how the Egyptian dynastic timelines we have today are falsified, riddled with error, and how the dynastic list of Manfil? Interesting. Hey, Squirrel Sniper, have you read the Egyptian Book of the Dead? I haven't. I've studied the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which actually is mistranslated, as it should be the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. It's a guidebook through the bardos, and the bardos include living, including what we're doing now, stages of reality. A bardo is simply a slice of reality that we experience. Let's see, Sniper says, are different than the Herodotus, Diodorus, and Sincilius. I think the last one is the only one that I might have gotten right. Wolf drops a link for our friend Evan. Thank you. Eric Point says yes. Good. Evan says, I like that you have answers to things that are hard to explain and understand. Well, thank you for that. I think the key is, for me, not thinking of it as an answer and just trying to think of the, just think of things as they are. If I can think of things as they are, then the answer reveals itself. It's not my answer. It's just how life is. Does that make sense? Wolf says hi as to Evan. Jacob says hi, brother Eric LaPointe. Squirrel Sniper says yes. It's a book of life, though, not dead. So it's the Egyptian Book of Life. It's funny how we mistranslate things. Eric LaPointe says, I just made a video for Leo. Awesome. Shirtless? Did Did you make a shirtless video for? I'm bringing Eric's channel up, and we'll watch it. Well, you know what? It's a minute. Let's check it out now. There you guys. Make sure you go see it, though.
Hey, this is a shout out to one of my brothers in the burpee world. Leo says so. I'll have him leave a comment on this video. You can click on his page and see what he's about. The man crushes burpees. But the other day, he did me a favor, and he did some wood splitter burpees. I appreciate that, Leo. When I do a wood splitter burpee, this is how I roll right here. One.
Awesome.
But
So
Leo likes to take it up a notch.
Hold on, guys.
Leo was doing something like this. Like, which I thought was even more motion than the log splitter burpee. So basically, what I'm saying is Leo invented his own burpee as far as I'm concerned. All right, so this is the log splitter.
Damn, Eric LaPointe.
And I say we call Leo's brand new burpee the Sledgehammer. What do you think? I think Leo's on to something. Like I said, go to Leo Says So's page, check him out. He's the inventor of the Sledgehammer Burpee. Everybody have a great day.
Awesome. Make sure you check it out. The Sledgehammer Burpee, as presented, as invented by Leo Said So, as presented by Eric LaPointe. Man, that was some serious core work. Anytime you swing in a sledgehammer like that, both sides, man, you're really getting the core in. And did you note the perfectly split wood? So guys, definitely go make sure that you check out the video. Two Cap is here. Thomas, my friend, how are you? Score Semper says, an answer now may differ from the same question at a different point in time. Absolutely. Absolutely, Squirrel Sniper. We got the link drop for Thomas. Thank you, Wolf. Optimob says, no, Eric, I was covered with duct tape. Jacob says, hey, Sniper, big salute to you. Eric Point says, thanks, Yogi. You're welcome. Hey, thanks for the shout out for Leo. Well-deserved shout out. Leo steps up, that's for sure. Reaper says, Reaper's here. Burpee battles are here, men. Burpee battles. So what's the first battle? Reaper says, just saw that. Let's see. TCAP says, dang, Eric, that's Windows open in that browser. Yeah, that's because it doesn't start out that way. What happens is, as I click on links to share, and then I leave them open to check out for just a little bit, and then I shut it down. So like I said, I had Eric's up. We'll bring that up again later. I keep Burpee Reapers up because I can check on his numbers. As I mentioned, he's at 845. TCAP says, thanks to you and my YouTube friends, I can always feel supported. Definitely supported, my friend. Eric Evanes says, have you gone swimming this year? Not only have I not gone swimming this year, I have not gone swimming in, man, maybe a decade? Maybe a decade and a half? I'm trying to think the last time I went swimming. Might have been way, way back when I was training for judo. And that was 24, 25 years ago. Squirrel Sniper says, hammer time. Absolutely. Optimob says, this is a man after my own heart. TCAP, I have sometimes 20 windows open in the back. Yeah, it's, you know, as I said, as I'm working through, shutting some things down now. Jacob says, sweet, gotta check it out. Hey, Eric LaPointe, you're looking pretty lean. Evan, how about you? Have you gone swimming? Reaper says, I got a sledgehammer. I'm going to see where I can bang that. I had a log in my front lawn. It's when Milk and I first got married. And I would do sledgehammer workouts. I would do it Tabata style. You know, the Tabata workout where you, with a sledgehammer, you would swing one side for 20 seconds. All out. And then you would rest 10 seconds. So then you would do the other side 20 seconds. You do that for 8 rounds. Is it 8 rounds? It might be more than 8 rounds. I don't remember. TCAP says, things have been better, but I'm dealing with it. I'm sorry to hear that, Thomas. Anything you ever want to talk about? Reaper says, you just displayed it, Eric. Hammer freaking time. Jacob says, is there a safe way to give you my email without putting it on here? That's a good question. You know, my email is on my channel. If anyone ever wants to email me, it's in a little, I think like a gray box, and it'll say user's email address. Everyone's always welcome to email me. If anyone has Facebook, Eric McCarty. Guess who I'm Facebook friends with the Poopinator. What a great guy, by the way. We actually very briefly chatted on the phone last night. Let's see, Reaper says a point's going to blind us. Reaper says the Ice Bucket Challenge is my challenge. Tag the J. Jordan. Awesome. When are you guys going to do that? Let's see. Did I miss? Oh, there he is. Greg Dayton. Sorry I missed you, Greg. Sabine, thanks for saying hi. That way I noticed that I had missed Greg. I apologize for that. Greg says hello to his Swiss friend Sabine. How are you doing? 108. Wow. In Stockton, California. Jacob says, too, Mr. Burpee Reaper. You and Brother Leo both did incredible this morning. You both are legends. Big salute to you both. Yeah, they are definitely both legends. Eric Point says it is a 10-pound. Wow. TCAP says, water heals, Eric. Take a dip. Man, I don't know if public water heals. I don't know if public pools heal. If I had a stream that wasn't polluted, if I had a lake nearby that wasn't polluted, I probably would. I think the nearest one is maybe 45 minutes. I'm only I'm only about half an hour to 45 minutes from the Chesapeake Bay. Reaper says, email me, Jacob. All right, let me catch up. I'm all out of order here. Reaper says he doesn't mind. So you guys getting ready for the big Navy SEAL event? Eric LaPointe says, hey to Greg. Reaper took his email address down. Awesome. Smart move. Greg says, why is it that every time I come here, my grandson, Laradox, isn't here? He was here earlier, very beginning of the chat. Apologize for not being around that much. Greg says, hello, Eric, number 1 and number 2. Reaper says, if Jacob is ready, we'll get it done. Awesome. Nice and easy. What do you say, Jacob? Reaper says, baptize Eric. I always tell people, you know, I was baptized Catholic. That's my get out of jail free card. Means that as a baptized Catholic, and I was confirmed Catholic, so now I can be a yogi, I can be a Buddhist, I can do all kinds of weird stuff. At the end of my life, all I have to do is get my last rites, and I got my pass into heaven. Greg said, did Laradox piss anyone off? Nope, not a single person. Both Goldie and I mentioned before that Laradox has calmed down considerably since he first came here. He always means well. He's trying to help people. I think sometimes people forget that he's 15 years old. Of course, when he came here, he told everyone he was 17. Why am I not surprised that that is the Reaper's email address? Let's see. Oh, hey, I don't want to forget, guys. Optimob has a premiere coming up. Up top, he said in 90 minutes. And so that was at least half an hour ago. So that means in about an hour. I'm thinking about staying on for another 30 minutes, hour and a half live stream. There it is. Optimob says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. Reaper says, Aaron McCarty is also a Raider guy. I am. I wasn't before, but in solidarity with the Burpee Reaper, I have sworn allegiance to the Raiders. I used to love the Ken Stabler and Jack Tatum Raiders when they were the baddest of the bad. Although some people say two things about Jack Tatum. That one, he was a headhunter. He paralyzed Darryl Stingley. And two, he caused the Immaculate Reception. I don't know, does anyone, probably Greg Dayton remembers that? Where he tipped the ball up in the air. Bradshaw threw a pass and wasn't quite intercepted by Tatum, but it was knocked in the air. But before it touched the ground, Franco Harris scooped it up and ran into the end zone. And it propelled for the first time, I think for the first time ever, the Pittsburgh Steelers into playoffs. They eventually won the Super Bowl and they dominated the 70s. Jacob says all he has to do is email the number. Evan says you should try 100 milligram edible. No, I haven't done a whole lot of edibles. A few years ago, I tried a few. It wasn't 100 milligrams. It was okay. At this point in my life, I almost all the time I naturally feel, you know, that I'm already there. Greg says, Kenny the Snake, absolutely. Reaper says, great football talk, Eric. Hey, the last time I had a football talk was with you, Reaper. Actually, in the early days of live streaming last summer. And we ended up talking for like an hour about football. And Mocha was like, you can't talk for an hour about football. And I was like, I can't talk for an hour about football now. But I could easily talk for an hour about, old-time football. TCAP says 100 is a big dose for most people. Reaper says he remembers, and that's when I swore my allegiance with the Raiders. Reaper says 2-cap edibles suck for me. What don't you like about them, Reaper? I got to be careful talking about recreational drugs, I've been told, as that can get the conversation flagged, which is a shame. For one, it's legal. For two, better to be informed, Let's see. 2-cap says you haven't had my homemade edibles. Greg says, thank you, Reaper. Seen a lot of sports in about 60 years. Reaper says Greg knows what's up. I don't remember what your football team was, Greg. Are you a San Francisco fan? Let's see. Squirrel Sniper says, did you know that there are techniques of breathing that are supposed to get you into hallucination? There is a psychotropic breathing and holotropic breathing. It works pretty well. Got to be careful if you have any type of issue with blood pressure or heart issues. It can be a little dangerous. I don't know if it is my experience different than actually, participating in plant medicine. Let's see. Reaper says it's too much cash, and I don't really do much for me. I would have to take a lot to feel anything. Reaper says, invite me, Thomas. To capture everything is homemade and grown over here. Nice. Sniper says 3 grams of Melmac will suffice. Reaper says that's Santa Clara Niners. As I mentioned before, obviously being born in Pittsburgh, I got to root for the Steelers occasionally. Growing up in Baltimore area, Baltimore Colts, always Baltimore Colts, guys. Never the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are the Cleveland Browns. If I wanted to root for the Cleveland Browns, I'd root for the Cleveland Browns, not for the Baltimore Ravens. Just my thoughts. So you can tell that's not very welcomed in Baltimore area. Reaper says, oh, here we go. Two cap, yes sir, in September. I'll mail it out. Greg says, I have not smoked any weed in about 40 years. Yes, sadly, I'm a Niners fan. They haven't won since '95. But you know what? They have won. They've won a bunch. Some might put them in as one of the very best teams ever with Montana, Jerry Rice. You got. So let's start with the modern era as being the Super Bowl. So you got Green Bay through the 60s. The 70s start off with Miami Dolphins. Perfect season. Wonderful backfield. And then, of course, after that, the Steelers dominated. In the 80s, it was all about San Francisco. Reaper says, Greg, I've suffered for longer. There was a time when the New Orleans Saints had, I think, one of the longest losing streaks for a long time. People wore bags on their head and called them the New Orleans Aints. Reaper says, but still represent. Raiders Nation for life. Do you have that as a tattoo, Reaper? We got a salute from Jacob. So let's see. I think talk for about 15 more minutes, guys. And I'll be back later. I need to get ready for Optimob's live for their premiere. It's always a lot of fun, guys. I hope to see you over there. Jacob says, hit that like button for our great friend, Mr. Yogi, if you enjoy his live stream. Thank you for all your support. Much love and respect to all. Thank you for that, Jacob. Greg says, yes, Reaper, they play in Santa Clara. So as I mentioned earlier, giving myself a shout out, I did my very first voiceover on a YouTube short. Just in an inspired moment, I wanted to share a poem I heard this morning, or read this morning, from St. John of the Cross. You guys might be familiar with St. John of the Cross and his Dark Night of the Soul. Beautiful writing. I think some of the most beautiful of any Christian mystic. And then my own little synchronistic run-in with a bunny rabbit. Eric Point says, nice, Yogi. I'll check it out. Thank you, Eric. And although it was a beautiful moment, I'm much happier the fact that I managed to push the right buttons to get it done. As technically, that stuff doesn't always work for me. As you guys seen on my own live streams, I am apt to hit the wrong button. So that might be something more often. You guys let me know what you think later on or tomorrow, whenever, if you watch it. Normally the voiceovers were, not really voiceovers. I just recorded it as I was talking, which I guess technically you can't say is a voiceover. And I've been doing that with what I call my gratitude walks, where when you're just walking, especially sunrise, and you're just overwhelmed by what you see. There's something really subtle about the beauty of a sunrise. Sunsets get all the fanfare, maybe deservedly so, because they're stunning. It's as if the night is, or it's as if the day is like holding on against the night for as long as possible until it surrenders. But there's such a subtle beauty to sunrises. It's so soft. The colors are um, almost like a Monet painting. Greg says, has Sister Goldie been here lately? She was here yesterday. I haven't seen her today. She has a new video out, guys. If you get a chance to check it out. I'm going to head over there in just a few minutes and make sure that I get a chance to see it. So as far as, like channel content and stuff, I think that I like the direction for me, how things are going. We'll see how it works out. But I'm also always open for suggestions. If you guys want to hear different stuff, if you want some breath work, if you want some more yoga discussions, I've been talking, again, the live streams, I've been reading the Tao Te Ching. When that's over, another 40 days, guys. Is there something that you've wanted to explore but maybe never gotten around to? Let me know, and I'll explore it, and we can explore it together. William's here. William says, hey, Yogi, how's it going? Good, William, how are you? Nice to see you. Reaper says, Raiders, Greg. Hey, William, I meant to ask you, what do you do for a living? Because I've heard you mention uniform before, but I don't think I ever heard you mention what you actually do. If you don't mind me asking. Eric Point says, Timo, how long does your premier going to last, or is it live? Reaper says he's retired from being a good-looking man. Well, I don't think he can retire from that. I think he is still actively. William says, excellent, Eric, just working. It's the clean living that keeps him youthful. Optimob says about 28 minutes. Eric Point says, Ada Bill. That's what I thought, because mentioning uniform. I was talking about the police earlier in the live stream because I was talking about taxes. Living in an area that, they got a fair amount of taxes. Actually, this was in my morning live stream. And how I was saying, overall, I don't mind paying taxes because that's how we have police officers, that's how we have firefighters, that's how we have public libraries, great schools, streets that are taken care of. Greg says, hey, Reaper, I wish you would win the division and beat Crybaby Mahomes. I'm just tired of KC. This is what, 2 years in a row for Kansas City? Let's see. Optimob is now over 9,900. 99,000. I can't even get that high. from 10 million subs away. Think positive. I love that positive thinking. Hey, one subscriber at a time. It'll add up. If you get one subscriber every day, it's only going to take, it's going to take a while. So we got to get more than 1,000 a day, or more than one a day. Jacob says, "Hey, brother William." Reaper says, "I'm so sick of that frog, Greg." And Wolf very kindly drops a link for our friend William Downey. Awesome. Thank you, Wolf. Hey, and speaking of which, William Downey is now officially over 500 subs. Well done, William. You said that that was your goal, and you did it. Eric Point says, "Nice, get a thumbs up." William Downey says, "I love Burpee Reaper." That should be a bumper sticker. I heart Burpee Reaper. We were just talking about Goldie, and here she is. I mentioned that you have a new video up, Goldie. And by the way, tomorrow's a big day for Goldie, as the news for the exams, for her daughter's exam, will be official. Greg says, "Hey, Reaper, going to be better, but division could be tough." Greg says hi to, or William says hi to everyone. Greg says, "Moonwolf, what's going on?" William says 5.5 months. Early too. Optimob says, right, YouTube is a marathon. It certainly is. You know what? The key, and I keep pointing this out to people, enjoy the process. Enjoy putting out the videos that matter, videos that are filled with meaning for you, full of beauty for you that you appreciate and you just want to share because you don't know any other way to do it but to share the things that you love. And let the channel grow spontaneously. This is why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, and it's again mentioned in the Tao Te Ching, different expression, same meaning. You're entitled to your actions, not the fruit of your actions. That's in the future. That's in the hands of God. That's in the hands of Krishna, the hands of the Tao, the hands of life. So surrender and just do YouTube because you love doing YouTube. Put out the things that are beautiful to you. Put out the things that are meaningful for you. When I started doing that, it just became a much, much more joyful process for me. Oh, here it is. William says 5.5 months early, too. Yep, ahead of schedule. Let's shoot for 1,000 now, William. Or a shirt. I heart Burpee Reaper. That would be a good shirt. All right, let me catch up here. We got everyone saying hi to Goldie. William says hi, Optimob in Switzerland. Mir says Burpee 846. Awesome. Hey, once Mir starts going to work for you, everything changes. Optimob is editing. Optimob says every video takes time and costs nerves, but I love that. That's the secret. Like for me, I don't love the editing or the details, so I don't really do it. But if you love it, all the better. And this is why Optimob and UK Medic, works of art. Mira says, Sir Yogi, now I start burpee. Start with burpees. Burpee Reaper. Sorry, tough time getting that out. That's what I mean. Once he starts working for you, everything changes. Mir was locked on for watch hours for me, guys. William says, Sabine, hello in Switzerland. Wolf says, Greg, we are in the border of Louisiana and Texas, or about 30 minutes from. Wolf, you're actually from Texas, aren't you? Cody says, I believe I have two. One of those is from a trip in October last year. Awesome. I will check them both out. William says, got to run. To rec, guys. See you later today. Take care, William. Appreciate you stopping by. Be safe, my friend. Optimob says, Da Vinci Resolve is a jungle, and the opportunities are countless. Well said. Editing software. I think for me, you know, aside from the nature shorts, all my stuff is me talking. So I don't know if it needs to be edited. Although I think if I found an app that would give me a full head of hair, maybe I would. The Master Sergeant is here. Mocha, hello, my friend. Let's see. Goldie says, see you on, take care. Everyone's saying hi to Mocha. Goldie says, hi there, lovely Mocha. Optimob says hi to Mocha. So, guys, you're going to have to excuse me for 1 second. I always say I'm going to go get water, and then you guys call me out. Especially the Burpee Reaper calls me out and says that he just needed to go to the bathroom. So this time I'm going to say I got to go to the bathroom, and I'm going to get some water. So hold on 1 second. Let me read this from Wolf. I don't want to forget it. I grew up in Irving, Texas, but I was born in Oklahoma and claim it as a home state. Nice. Man, whenever I hear someone say I was born in Oklahoma, it reminds me of the Three Dog Night song. All right, guys, I'll be right back. All right, guys, I apologize for that. Jacob says, hey to Mocha. Greg says 61 days, and I say goodbye to the 60s. Greg, the old fart. 61 days. We'll be there to celebrate with you. Goldie says, come on, Greg, with age comes wisdom. Not always, though. This is true, not always. It should, you know, age should make you, let's let wisdom aside. We'll leave that aside for now. Age should break you open. Age should make you empathetic. It should make you understanding. Your heart should go out to the youth. It should make you more compassionate, more giving. And to me, that's where true wisdom comes in. True wisdom isn't anything about how much you know. And you know what? You can accumulate all the knowledge that you need in life by the age of 15. But information, although it serves a purpose, it's not the end-all be-all of, and it certainly has gotten us into a whole lot of trouble. Imagine if collectively the entire world forgot about the information of nuclear arms. Imagine if collectively we forgot all the information of grievances, the history of grievances between countries, between people. TCAP says, knowledge sucks, ignorance is bliss. You know what? I'm going to change that for me, my own understanding, and say knowledge sucks, innocence. Innocence is bliss. Because I mentioned before, or we could also use another I word and say intelligence is bliss. Because we're all granted with the same intelligence. However, some of us retain more information than other people. That's not intelligence. That's just how much we can retain. Intelligence courses through your body. Causes your hair to grow, for some of you guys. Your blood to flow, your heart to pump. Your lungs to expand and contract. Intelligence causes the sun to come up. That's all intelligence. Let's see. Sucks. All right. You know what? But ducks works too. I have met many ducks who are smarter than I am. I would go far to say that every duck is smarter than I am. I don't know how to fly. As well, ducks can actually sleep with one eye open and part of their brain shut down and the other one wide awake. I can't do that. As you guys can tell, I'm very partial towards ducks. Mocha knows that very well, that I'm partial towards ducks. Let's see. TCAP says, amen, Eric, and that's very nice. Thank you. Knowledge is dualistic. Exactly. Intelligence is just one. Greg says, I've learned more in life than I ever did in school. Like some people are a-holes. Interesting thing to learn. Goldie says, for some of us. TCAP says, I've been one. Have you been one, or have you appeared to be one? There's a big difference. In life, we can appear to be anything at any given time, but that doesn't mean it's who we are. So when we can see, that's the whole nature of forgiveness, is not forgiving, saying, yes, you've suffered enough, I forgive you, or I'm going to be the bigger person, I forgive you. It's seeing the original innocence in someone, recognizing that, and recognizing that within that innocence, nothing could ever happen. And that your innocence, your original innocence, is the same, the very same, not different at all, as my own original innocence. We share that together. So how can I not forgive? Because if I hold a resentment towards you, I'm holding a resentment against myself. Wolf says, wisdom comes not from age, but rather from silence, the ability to be quiet and take the things around you, and knowing what to keep. Nicely said, Wolf. Beautifully said. Two-Cap says, and I realize, so I feel wise. Nice. Let's see. Goldie says, let me correct you on that, Greg. Most people are a-holes. The true ones are real gems. What if we were all gems? However, we have a coal-like exterior, and we just need that pressure of life to change the coal into a diamond. That would, remember the whole alchemical process, the original alchemist, in their attempt to turn lead into gold was really an allegory for changing the lead of the mundane life, mundane existence, materialism, into the finer quality of the unmanifest, of spirit, of God. We get a thumbs up. Walking with Goldie from Optimob. Two-Cap says, I like that way out, Eric, but in my eyes it was. Well, here's a question, Thomas. When you were that way, did you feel justified in being that way? If you could have been any other way, would you have been? And when I say if you could have been any other way, that means that you knew clearly that there was, at that time, other options. Most people only do what they can do. This, Thomas, we come back to non-duality, something I love talking to you about, that there was no actual you present to be an a-hole. There was only things happening in the mind that presented an a-hole at that time. And if things could have been different, they would have been different. Greg says, I'd rather be around animals. You can count on them. No offense to anyone. Hey, Greg, you just heard me talk for 10 minutes about ducks. You know how I feel about animals. Two-Cap says, yes, Wolf. And I've been told to talk less. Still trying. Mocha says, hi as to Wolfie Wolf. Goldie says, none taken. Greg, nope, none at all. Our friend Laradox is here. How you doing, Laradox? So it's time to do a Burpee Reaper check. Our friend the Burpee Reaper is at 858. I'm telling you, when Mir goes to work for you, he goes all in. Aaron Left Point says, hi to Laradox. Let's check out our friend Laradox's channel. It's at 516. Holding steady. I suspect everyone's already subscribed to Laradox. Here's what I don't know. Have you guys checked out his amazing free throw? Two-Cap says, food for thought, Eric. It's tough to answer that succinctly. So I always mention that forgiveness is a quantum event. That it doesn't take place in time. When we recognize, if you're silent right now, there's that recognition. Anything that's unforgiven is something that happened in the past. It's a memory. It's a thought. Not only is it a thought, it's a thought that you have to recall for it to even resemble an actuality. Do you really want to go through life holding resentment on a thought? And how much energy that actually frees up? So the reason I'm talking about forgiveness is because if we think that we were an a-hole at one time in our life, that's a resentment that we have against ourselves. All you've ever been, all you've ever truly been, really, deeply, is innocent. All you've ever been is love. You might have a memory of something different. That's all it is a memory. Let's see. Aradak says, I had the best time in church today. Awesome. Glad to hear that. Two Cap says, when you have the benefit of distance, it's easier to see your errors. Or give up the thought of errors. Give up the entire thought of errors. A lot of people say, well, you got to recognize your errors so you can avoid making mistakes. You're just going to make different mistakes. Give up the entire thought of errors and just keep that process. Forgiving and forgiving and forgiving. You've really never made a single error. You just have done things in the past. The past doesn't exist any longer. Let's see. Wolf says, I found that there are a lot of young people who seem to be mad a lot, but also the music nowadays sounds very disturbing to a person's peace. There's a book, David Hawkins' Power versus Force, and he does kinesiology testing and all kinds of different things. And he found very little music in the past few decades respond at a very high level. Force is blunt. We live through force in life. Force is warfare, us against them. Power is something different. Power is innate. Power is love. It vibrates at a higher frequency. So most music resonates at a force, not power. The exception is symphony music, classical music. And surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly, the Beatles. Goldie says, me too, Laradox twice. My morning service, and that was a different morning service from the U.S. Nice. Laradox says he subbed a 2-cap. Awesome. Laradox says, Laradox, you go to, or sorry, 2-cap, do you go to church? Mid says Burpee is at 860, sir. Absolutely awesome. $860. Mir is a miracle worker. Let's see, where was I? Laradox says, Wolfie, you're a Christian? You actually asked Wolf that before, Laradox. Jacob says, I've seen a few of your videos, Brother Laradox, especially that shot. That shot was awesome. You made was incredible. Great job. Thank you for that, Jacob. Man, it truly was. Teacup says, no, but I have been. Mir says, friends, thank you for your kindness. Thank you, Mir. All the hard work that you do for other people. Make sure you check out Mir's channel. I mentioned this before. It's a great channel to have up and running because you can take a nature break anytime during the day. You just slide your, what are they called? Windows. Slide it over to the window that you have open for Mir. That's what I love about nature channels. Laradox says, I'm sure I answered that question at least twice, at the very least. Teacup says, I usually enjoy it. Greg says, nothing personal, but I won't be going into a church. Sorry. Yep. Goldie says, no need to apologize. Absolutely. Mira says, so Yogi, that's your kindness. You're welcome, my friend. Teacup says, yes, Eric, but my ego wants me to be perfect and great. Hard to admit to that part of myself that some things cannot be corrected. Or better yet, some things don't need to be corrected. Better yet than that, everything is impossible to be corrected. You'll never correct anything in the past. It's impossible. But you can forgive right now. And when you do that, you free up so much energy. Teacup says, mostly for weddings and funerals, but a couple times with friends I have been. Eric's Point says, warning, going live at 3:30. Uh-oh. Guys, you know what that means, right? We got warnings up. Those warnings are particularly for our friend Goldie. I'm going to have to make sure that we notify our friend Bumblebee T. Eric Lapointe, appreciate the warning. Those who are sensitive, you might want to reconsider your viewing choices coming up. Although for those who know what this is about, you don't want to miss it. Aerodoc says, Greg, well, that's your decision. And to me, I don't respect that decision. No hate towards you. Well, no hate, but, you know, you respect other people's decisions not because they agree with you or they disagree with you, not because it's different or the same as you. You respect because that's how they see things. And it's just different than yours. Let's see. Let's see. Goldie says, and how much time is that from now? That is in about 40 minutes from now. Greg says, being an atheist, I'm very outnumbered. But I'm just being myself. Wolf says, Zerodox, I don't go to church either because I don't subscribe to limited views of any particular denomination. Nicely said, Wolf. Eric Point says, yes, and the thumbnail. Let's see. Teacup says, kind of like Eric is saying, got to recognize the transgression to forgive and then move on. You know, to be honest, I'm not even sure you need to recognize the transgression. And you don't have to move on. Life is already moving on. You just need to let go. Just need to surrender. Life is already in motion. Nothing you can do about it. So why drag the past along with you? It's not truly going to come, just a memory. And your memory is going to be distorted. Lerodox says Joel Goldstein is a scumbag. I do not know him personally. Wolf says not to say that church is bad. In fact, it's a wonderful place to learn and have fellowship with like-minded people. Nice. I agree. Teacup says, word Lerodox. Teacup says, my friend's family in Texas is part of that mega church. Scary stuff. The point says 45 minutes. Goldie says, yes, mega churches are scary because they deviate from the Bible, and everything is a show, a concert. Goldie very, very wisely says, okay, I'll play it on the tab. My eyes won't be glued to it. Smart thinking. No, here we were talking about wisdom. And our friend Goldie just displayed true wisdom. So, self-discipline. Laradox says, Yogi, how's life? Life is spectacular. Life is beautiful. My life was filled with bunny rabbits and ducks today. And a woodpecker. I saw a woodpecker this morning. And a beautiful sunrise. And I've done yoga, and I've meditated, and I've done all kinds of fun stuff. I've done burpees. I took a walk with Milka and Misty. Greg says, with all these people, God people, on TV are millionaires. Yes, they are. So Laradox says he's going to pray for me today because you're my friend and I want to help you. In my description of life, Laradox, what made it sound like I needed help? However, I appreciate the prayers very much. But if you're praying for me to be like you, that's a self-defeating prayer because it's never going to happen. If you're praying for me to be true and happy with myself, that's a beautiful and meaningful prayer. No one has a monopoly on religion or spirituality or a spiritual figure. No one has a monopoly on Jesus. You can actually have a deep and meaningful relationship with Jesus without belonging to any church or have any faith. If your heart is open to Jesus, you're accepted by Jesus. Jesus is accepted by your heart. Everything's fine. Goldie says, because they are fraudsters. Yeah, they are. Sadly. Poor man says, got my card in 47 minutes today. Wow, that's a good time. That is no easy workout. Great job, poor man. Let's see. Laradox says, Yogi, do you believe there is a chance that Jesus docks? I don't know what that means. Let me know what that means, Laradox. Poor man says, hey, Goldie. Greg says, Ornstein has a lot of money. Where is he getting it? TCAP says, I could use a little prayer, to be honest. Hey, Thomas, sending prayers your way, my friend. Send in prayer and send in love. Always. Whenever you're down, whenever you feel that you need it, reach out. You don't even have to reach out. Thomas, just know, from you saying that, my friend, you're in my prayers. Reaper says, Thomas, God bless you. Thank you for that, Reaper. Reaper comes in at just the right time, as always. I don't know if the Reaper knows it or not, that he's at 860 subscribers right now. Wolf says, my only problem with Olstein is that when his community needed, he closed the door on them. Yeah, sadly so. And yet they remain loyal. Laradox says, 2Cap, I'm always here for you. Thank you for that, Laradox. Goldie says, from donations from people he duped, that he is a man of God. It's all become performative, you know, as Goldie mentioned above, theater. Everyone, you get an audience and it becomes performative, and it has nothing to do with faith. It has nothing to do with love. Teacup says, my friend had a dream. Jesus came to him and said he felt the bliss of his embrace. And he has never been to church. Beautiful. Hey, Marianne Williamson, is a teacher of A Course in Miracles, has a brand new book out on the mystic Jesus, saying the same thing, that Jesus is non-denominational. In fact, cannot be put in a denomination. And if you attempt to do so, you're forming Jesus in your own mind. You're saying, this is how Jesus should be because I believe it. Goldie says, awesome two-cap. It is absolutely awesome. Paradox says, did you know that guy? Did you know, guys, that you find a new strength if you convert to a Christian? Or, as two-cap was saying, you can just love Jesus. Don't need to be a Christian. You can be Christ-like. Reaper says, Paradox lies, but I respect your beliefs. Two-cap says, still doesn't go, but values a dream. There's no need to go to church. Unless you feel called to go to church. If it's part of your life, if it's part of your faith, it's a beautiful thing. I know Christians who've had dreams of Krishna. I've known yogis who've had dreams of Jesus. I grew up in the Catholic. I have my own personal relationship with Jesus, the same as I have a personal relationship with Krishna and Shiva. Maybe a little less personal with Shiva. Shiva seems very energetic for me, as well as with Mother Mary as an aspect of the divine feminine. Poor man says, oh, hey, Reaper, I enjoyed those vest routines. Nice work, man. Yeah, awesome work with the vest. Greg says, if you really shouldn't be trying to take people's money. Greedy is BS. I agree. And, well, again, very wisely, Paradox, the same can be said about most religions. This is true. Paradox says, Yogi, I want to tell you that even though I haven't personally met you, I love you, and also know that Jesus brought me into your life for a reason, and I hope you never forget that. Or maybe Jesus brought me into your life for a reason. Me and Jesus are pretty cool. Just the way I am. However, once again, Paradox, I appreciate your message. Reaper says, poor man, appreciate that. Glad you enjoy. I will check you out. Goldie says, Paradox, you do, but at the same time, Jesus said, in this life, you will have, oops, I missed that. Every once in a while, things jump. There we go. You will have trouble. So that strength is very much needed. Teacup says, many roads to absolution. This is true. Poor man says, yeah, Reaper, I ordered a 30-pound vest. It's going to be brutal. Yeah, it's going to be brutal. That was a big, that was an inspired choice, poor man. Paradox says, nothing can compare to Christianity. What if you studied, what do you have to compare, though? Paradox. I've spent, since 1981, studying the Tao Te Ching. I mentioned before, it was given to me, Alan Watts' book, The Tao, The Watercourse Way, was given to me by a girlfriend's mother. 1981, I was 16. Soon later, I discovered the Bhagavad Gita and dove into it. I've been studying and living it ever since. In the early 90s, I discovered A Course in Miracles, which many people consider to be updating teachings from Jesus himself. Doesn't matter if you believe that or not. Um, I grew up as a Catholic, so I have a lot of things to compare. Here's what I've discovered: I don't have to compare anything. It's not about comparison. It's about living. It's about beingness. Reaper says, God isn't a religion. Nicely said, Reaper. God loves us all, even you, Laradox. Goldie says, I agree. Lewis, I agree as well. Reaper says, Laradox, you need to really pray, like really pray. Pray until you hear the voice of silence. As Herman Melville said, silence is the true voice of God. Wolf says, Laradox, I understand your enthusiasm. I do as well. And Goldie and I have talked about that. Enthusiasm tampered with life experience is a wonderful thing. Laradox says, to Reaper, I know where you're coming from because Christianity isn't really a religion for me. It's a lifestyle. Greg says, many greedy people in the world, not good. This is true. Jacobs just got the email. Great. Reaper says, your lifestyle, exactly. Poor man says, prayer helps me every day. Not a churchgoer, though. Nice. Poor man, I'm glad to hear that. My entire life, from waking till I go to sleep, is a prayer. I've mentioned probably 1,000 times on live streams that the first thing I do in the morning is a prayer. I say thank you 3 times, very sincerely. It wasn't always sincere. It was a practice. And yet, as I continued practicing, I opened up, my heart opened up, my mind opened up to the sincerity of thank you, thank you, thank you for all that I've been granted through nothing that I've done on my own. By the grace of God, I have been granted another day, being awake, an entire universe to support my existence. How could I ever doubt that God loves me? I open my eyes and there's an entire universe supporting me. Goldie says, yes, Greg Dayton is not agreed there. Unfortunately, there is, yes. Laradox, anyway, sorry to bore you guys with without my religion. Hey, Laradox, there's another way to think about it. Look at the great conversation that you inspired. You have people sharing their own way of praying. You have people sharing what God means to them. That's because of you, my friend. This is what my channel is all about. I started doing live streams to talk about spirituality, to talk about love, to talk about meditation, breathwork, yoga, to talk about God. And it goes in all kinds of different directions. But Laradox, you did this. You turned the conversation into a talk about God. That's a great thing. So be happy with that. You have Burpee Reaper talking about true prayer. We have Poor Man talking about how prayer sustains him. Our friend Thomas, 2Cap, felt that he was in need of some prayer right now. Goldie can talk about her faith. I get to talk about my faith. And even Greg, as an atheist, look at him talking about greedy people and how they don't fit into the largest scheme of things. He's talking about love. This is all inspired by you, Laradox. That's going to be the note I'm going to close things down. I think. T says, Reaper, I saw the 20-pound. Hey, T, I'm glad you're here. Eric Lapointe is going live in less than about half an hour. And it's going to be just what you want to see. Laradox says, I can mean, what religion offends you the most? Just a question. No religion offends me. None. Who am I to be offended by what anyone else ever does? Wolf says, Laradox, I don't think Yogi would be offended by either. Thank you, Wolf. Exactly. Reaper said he's going to do a short when it allows me to download the video to my phone. Awesome. So, Laradox, or Greg says, I respect that you believe, and you should respect that. I don't believe. Nicely said, Greg. So, hey guys, we want to make sure that we get to Eric Lapointe. We want to make sure that we get to Optimob. I'm going to make something to eat. I'm going to be in front of the computer. And I'm going to be watching. Both of you guys. Wolf says, Reaper, can you post a link to the video? Awesome, guys. 1 second.
Leo.
This is it. You guys hear the Reaper? All right. Wolf, this is for you. Goldie says, thank you for the lovely live and chat. I'll go now. Thank you, Goldie. Appreciate you being here. Man, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, Goldie, to hearing the great news. Reaper says, doesn't know how. I think I got you covered. So I want to say one more sincerely. Laradox, you inspired a great conversation and a great way to end the conversation. I really hope you're happy with that, because otherwise, think how much we would have missed. I don't know if you're still here, if you hear this or not. This is Eric Lapointe's link, by the way. Make sure you guys get there for Eric. Mr. 1K. T says, Goldie News, Monday. Or is it Monday already? Tomorrow. Okay. Jacob says, big salute to you all. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob says, thank you for having me on your live stream once again. Mr. Yogi, brother Mr. Yogi. Jacob, thank you. Man, it's always an honor to have you here. So, all right, guys. I hope to see you over at Eric Lapointe's. I hope to see you over at Optimob. I will see everyone later. And I'll be live again 2 hours or so. Ish. 2 hours-ish. T says, Yogi, pretty please leave up this chat. What do you mean? T? I'm not sure I know what you mean. T says, what time Optimob? He said 90 minutes, and that was a while ago. So it might be any minute now. So that's why I got to go. I got some things to do before I can settle down and watch people. Greg says, take care, everyone. Hey, Laradox, behave yourself. I think that is a link for Optimob. So, yep, T, I got to run. Wolf says, blessings, everyone. Blessings to you, Wolf. And I'll be back, guys. Sorry. just checking, make sure that nothing anyone needs of any huge news to drop or anything like that. We're all good. Awesome. So I will see everyone later. Take care, guys.